Topic is discover yourself, who's DHIRA. So that is the topic today. So let's try to understand that. So far I think we have had six odd topics. It's 6 odd I think, and this is the fourth one. Yeah, around 6 to 7 topics we have had. So far, how many of you have been attending most or at least 2 topics? Okay, so mostly everyone has been there. So continuity is there. It's not like, okay. Last week, what was the topic? The Madhur Gaurang Prabhu did it. What happens after death? Interesting, huh? How did you all find that session? Right? What happens after death? Yeah. See, sometimes we may look at it, think, oh, this is all very pessimistic. Why you talk after death? Let's talk about what happens now. Right? Let's live happily. That's how our thinking goes. But it's important we know the whole thing so that, we can decide comprehensively how we want to lead our life. Right? So otherwise, if you think there is a starting point and an ending point, how you take a decision is one way. But if you know it is actually something else, your decision making is actually different. Like you, right? Whenever you take a decision, you want to see what are the options available, right? It's not just based on just one way. You think, okay, what are the, if we do this, this happens, if we do this, this happens like this. Now, if you have all the information, then your decision can be very nicely taken. So like that, Bhagavad Gita is a comprehensive text, which I mentioned right in the beginning, that if you are able to understand Bhagavad Gita, even reasonably, even if not fully, nobody gets to understand fully because, it's such a huge, vast science. It's the matter is same, 700 shlokas, but the depth of your understanding can keep going further and further and further. But then, even if you have a very high-level summary view of it, it can make a huge difference to our life, to our decision-making, to the way how we impact the whole environment around us. So, in that sense, today the question comes is DHIRA. In English, you can say, who is a sober person? DHIRA means in Sanskrit word, you can say, DHIRA is who is a sober person. What do you mean by sober? If someone is to say, okay, you are very sober, what do you think you are? I mean, each one may have, again, different interpretation of that word sober. What do you think would be a sober person? Very balanced, very mature person. Thank you very much for that. Anyone else? Calm and patient. Okay, nice. Mature, calm and patient. Anything else? Who's? Brave. Okay. Brave. Okay, calm and mature. Brave, mature. Then anything else? Will not quarrel with anybody. Okay. Will not quarrel with anybody. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, nice. So we have got some idea of what it is. We will actually try and see. So the idea is a sober person is actually a combination of a mature person. Naturally, he is brave because he accepts the Gita. Therefore, he is brave because in today's world it's difficult to accept. Oh, I don't know. This is all someone wrote something. I don't know whether I want to accept it like that. So in that sense, accepting the philosophy of the Lord, at least. Because externally we are made to understand there is nothing called God. Even if it is, this is all some concocted stuff. Those kind of things. But one should have that steadiness in the mind to say, yes, I will go with it. Right? DHIRA is also someone who is steadfast in what he wants to achieve. Right? That is also that steadfast. That means you are not unwavering. And at the same time, you are a person, like she said, mature in the sense you are not. In Kannada they say Gondala, right? What is Gondala? Emotional, or you are torn between these ups and downs very easily, right? Generally in life, everyone faces these ups and downs. How many of us are able to take everything calmly? Okay, yes, I know I have hit a roadblock somewhere. Is it okay or not okay? I'm not able to handle it. On the other side, if there is some bit of a success, I go all over the place. I rampage through everybody. Like, I don't care for people because now I feel I am on top of the world and everything is below me. Those kind of things. But who is a person who can actually take things as they come, understanding what is the background for something to happen like this, right? Either good or bad. So that is very important, and let's see that in today's class. I'm kind of a little bit of a handicap today. I mean, you would have seen I have been making presentations with the, projector. I was thinking that today also somehow it happens that the projector has gone elsewhere, that somehow, these things happen. So, maybe I will still want to play a couple of videos for you all. So, video time, why don't you all just come through so I can turn the laptop around. You can at least hear it and get some little bit of understanding of it. So, let me take this verse from Bhagavad Gita, which is the basis for our topic today. Who is a DHIRA? There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita which is 2nd chapter and 13th verse. This is going like this. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara praptis dhiras tatra na muhyati. Now translation for this is like this. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Okay, this is the verse. This is Krishna's statement. So we have already got an idea. Okay, we are not the body, we are soul. Theoretically, I don't know if any of us have understood it practically. Yes, I am the soul. I am not this body. But we understand theoretically, yes, there is something like this. And we have perceived that also in some form and shape. Now let's go live with that thought. I am soul. But how do we get more clarity? Now, do any one of you have your childhood photo with you right now? You have? Can you show it if you don't mind? So can everybody see? Just show it to everyone around. Okay. So Mataji, don't mind me asking these questions. So you believe that is you? You believe that is you? Yes. Huh? Yes, you are the one in the picture. Mataji believes. How many of you are able to identify Mataji as that picture? Right? Now, what happened to that body? That picture she showed, what happened to that body? Where is it now? Huh? Sorry? Transformed. Okay. Anything else? Nice way of putting it. Transformed. Matured. That body matured. Okay. Anything else? Huh? Undergone changes. Okay. Anything else? Okay, nice way of saying that, if I have to say that body is dead, it looks so bad, right? So better to say undergone some changes, matured, all that. But actually speaking, where is that body? It is gone. Is it not? That body is gone. But she says, I was that person. That is the point I am trying to divert. She says, I was that person. But where is that I, where is that whatever her features there or whatever that size was, where is it now? English or whatever, the scientific thing says, your body, every cell is actually changed. So, I don't know, they say 8 years. 8 years, the complete cells are removed. That means we don't carry any of those cells which we had at our time. That means what happened? This body is what a matter, right? That matter is gone. Which means what? It is disappeared. But still, I believe I am that person. That is why here it is saying, the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age. That means, we are able to accept, I was the person in that body, but that body is no more. But I still believe I am that body. And everybody else also believes. I have seen, like, my mother has seen me. I am now great. My mother will still say, he is my son. Right? Then she is able to identify, I am the same person, but that person has changed 100 times, whatever times. But she is able to accept that. Now, what happened to that is that soul continues, right? So who does he mean? He is my son. Is he talking to that about that body? Because that body is gone. Now, who is he talking about that as my son? Then she is referring to that force which is actually activating that body. Correct? Subconsciously we know this, but externally we sometimes ask for proof. Last week I was giving a class. After the class, some 2-3 gentlemen were very deeply discussing about this topic. Maybe it came 2 weeks later. I don't see him here, I think. But that was a discussion. How can I accept that, something happened after my death? How will I know what it is? I am telling him, no. After you are 8-year-old, you are dead. But you are accepting I am still alive. Then show me that body, I am asking you. Show me that body. That body is gone, but you are believing I am still that body. Then what is remaining with you from that body to now? For example, Mataji showed that body, it's not there. Then what is remaining with her about that body that she is able to say, I am that body? What makes us believe I am that body? If I have to say, I am that person, how did you say that? Okay. So, you remember? Memory. Very nice. That's what you are also saying, right? The knowledge about what happened at that. Okay. Memory. Correct? So, that memory supposedly continued from the childhood body to the old body. Maybe you are thinking, I am that same person. Because you are able to remember something happened during that childhood. But, Mataji, do you remember everything that happened in your childhood? Few things you remember, some highlights. Maybe you passed 8th standard, 9th standard, like that you will remember. Maybe something happened in your life, maybe your parents sometimes appreciated you, that you carry all your time, someone hurt you badly, that you remember. But not everything. So, even though we have partial memory, not everything we remember. Correct? But still we believe, I went through that body and every experiences in that body. Do you agree? We say that, right? You may not, your friend will tell you, hey, that day you and I went and did these things. You say, oh, I forgot altogether. But then, it was you who did that. Correct? Now, if the same thing continues up to a point where this body completely degenerates and I am out of the body. That is what we are now technically defining as death. Correct? But actually, are you there after that or not? That's the bigger question now. Up to now, you are accepting, I changed the body from child to youth to old age. You are accepting. But when it comes to a point where this body starts moving, where we think this is dead. Why didn't we think I am dead as a child, I am dead as a youth, I am dead as a thing? Because, like she said, I have some memory. Correct? So now our definition is, because I have memory, only then I will accept. That's the logic. Because I remember, so people are saying, I don't know, I don't have memory of my past, so I don't believe past. Is that a good argument? I don't remember the past, therefore I cannot accept that I had another body. Now, there are examples in Mataji's life or every one of us life where I don't remember that thing happened, but others tell me, my mother tell me, you rascal, you did this thing that time. And it was very embarrassing for me. My mother tells me many times like that. But I don't remember. That doesn't mean I didn't do it, right? So I am limited in my memory, but I cannot base the whole thing to say, because I do not remember, I do not accept this theory that I had another body. That is not intelligence, right? Intelligence means you should use the logic to say, okay, correct? Therefore, the scriptures very clearly say that you existed earlier and you are existing now and you will exist tomorrow. Now, that is the context to understand the whole life. Now, if you have to understand it this way, how do you take decision versus if you are told, like in Western philosophy, the belief is you are born once. What is the next line? Enjoy everything now. And they usually loosely say that. You live once, they say, right? You live once. Therefore, do whatever you want to do. Very nice. This thing, if you understand, I don't live once, I live eternally. If you understand that way, versus you think I live only once, your actions when in these two beliefs will be completely different. You understand? Because if I believe, like if I tell you, if you have to now go home, like you are 20 kilometers away or 50 kilometers away and there is suddenly some lockdown, something. Now we say there's only one bus available, now you leave. I mean, you have to, only one bus available, class will still go on for another half an hour or 1 hour. Now what will happen next 5 minutes? Nobody will be here. You will all be into that bus because you know, this is the only bus right now I'm going to have. I am away 20 kilometers, there's a lockdown. Your decision making is based on that understanding that this is what I have. No problem. Now, versus if I tell you, but if there is no lockdown, class will go on for 1 hour, will any of you leave this place? No? So, this is actually the way the Western philosophy, what I said, versus our philosophy, what I said now. If you have a clear understanding that nothing stops, maybe I may leave this body and get into another body, but my journey continues. My journey continues. So now, where is the hurry here? Or is there anything that you cannot achieve in your life? Life is, this is not just this life. This is your life. Now, are you going to be disturbed? Whatever, I attempted something, it didn't work in my life. I attempted, I didn't work. So what here? This is not the only time I'm going to do this. Okay, I have enough time, I will continue doing this. You see how your perception changes. Unless I tell you, no, this is the only time you have. If you fail, then that's it. You go and commit suicide. You understand? Why do people get driven to that? Because they feel this is it. There is no more nothing for me. But you are eternal, yeah. Okay, you tried. It didn't work. But that's not the end of you. You continue eternally. Now your whole perception changes. I will just read Prabhupada what he has written in that verse. Since every living entity is an individual soul, each is changing his body every moment. This is also science, right? If you get up in the morning, after you get up from your bed, sweep your space and see how much dust is coming. What is that? Dead cells. That is you. Me in my bed, you in your bed. So effectively, we are dying every moment. Correct? So, but we don't care because I know I am there. My body is undergoing some small changes. I am not very perturbed with that. Unless some major thing happens, I am not perturbed. Because I know I am okay. There is something happening to this body, but that's okay. Right? Now that extension of it, that's what he's saying, is changing every moment. Manifesting sometimes as a child, sometimes as a youth, and sometimes as an old man. Yet the same spirit soul is there and does not undergo any change. Do any of us think our soul is undergoing any change? The energy which drives this body doesn't undergo any change. We have seen already that, the soul is unchangeable, immutable, so many things. I don't know if you have all, it was touched upon in any of the previous classes. That is different. Soul is the physical property of that. Soul actually knows everything. Like that memory, we have lost it now. Soul is actually Satchidananda. That means it is actually full bliss and knowledge. Soul is actually full bliss and knowledge. That means you know everything. But like Mataji said, since I am put inside this body, which has a limitation, my memory is also limited. So effectively, you are not gaining any knowledge. You are already fully knowledgeable. You means that soul. But because we have put ourselves in a small bucket, we are thinking, I don't have knowledge. That is our fault. That is what Krishna is saying, get out of this mess. You are actually a very brilliant person. Why do you think you are a fool? Right? So now let's go further. Sometimes as a youth and sometimes as an old man. Yet the same spirit soul is there and does not undergo any change. The individual soul finally changes the body at death and transmigrates to another body. And since it is sure to have another body in the next birth, either material or spiritual, there is no cause for lamentation. That means, after this body is gone, either I am so mature spiritually, I get a spiritual body. Or I get another material body. It could be a human body, it could be a dog body, it could be a Devata body, it could be a Rakshasa body, depending upon my consciousness, what I wanted to do with this body. You understand? So you actually get what you want. English also they say no. You get what you want. You work for it, you will get it. Same thing here also. What I have got today is what I have aspired. I cannot crib later. Many times we feel, no. But actually, who I am now, what I am now, what I eat, what I do, everything is derived on what I aspired in my past. Which I have now got it. Now I am lamenting why I asked for this. Many times we do know. We buy one car. We think this is the greatest car. We buy it. And then you start driving it, then you say, hey, this car, why did I buy? Whose mistake is it? It is my decision to buy that car. The same way, whatever we are going through today is based on my past actions. Not that someone forced me to put into the situation. Understand? We are getting what we deserve in terms of what we did. Many people feel, no, everything is against me. Everything is, there is no justice to me. No. The world is full of justice. We get something because of what I did. Sometimes when I get good things, that time I don't say, oh, world is not doing justice to me. I take it for granted, right? When good things happen, we don't credit to someone. We credit that only when some bad thing happen. Oh, this thing happened, that fellow, that did. When I do well, I did. Correct? I am so great, I am so smart, I did this. But reality is, we are not doing anything at all. What we have done in the past, or what we have desired in the past, the Lord has sanctioned it, and that has happened, and as a result of that, whatever we got, and again decided to do with it, that desire has manifested into reactions for that. This is science also. Every action has a equal and opposite reaction. This is not spirituality, this is science. Or rather, science is from spirituality. Science is what? Discovering the truth. Ultimate truth is spirituality. It is already given. We are now proving it through science. Now, some of the videos I will show you will actually understand what I am saying this. Okay. There was no cause for lamentation by Arjuna on account of death, neither for Bhishma nor for Drona, for whom he was so much concerned. Rather, he should rejoice for their changing bodies from old to new ones, thereby rejuvenating their energy. Such changes of body account for varieties of enjoyment or suffering. according to one's work in life. So, Bhishma and Drona, in this case, the discussion is happening around Bhishma and Drona. Arjuna is saying, why I will have to kill them? They are my so-and-so. Saying, don't worry about that, Krishna is telling. Now, that's the context. Why Bhishma and Drona is being brought here. So Bhishma and Drona, being noble souls, were surely going to have spiritual bodies in the next life. Or at least in heavenly bodies for superior enjoyment of material existence. So in neither case there is no cause for lamentation, which is what we discussed. If I am doing good things in my life, maybe I am destined to also lose this body, but after that I don't have to worry, because in the next body I will get good things, because I have done good things. Now what is there to worry? Or I am very spiritual. Fine, then you get a spiritual body that will never die. In both situations, in this case of the Bhishma and Drona, no problem. But for me, I don't know how much bad things I have done in my life. That is why we need to be careful. In that Western philosophy, what I said, there is one life, enjoy. Now what will I do? I don't have money, but there is only one life to enjoy. I see that guy going in Benz. What should I do now? There's only one life, huh? There's only one life, I don't have money now. What should I do? Beg, borrow, steal. No? Cheat, do whatever, because that Benz is needed now. Otherwise, there is nothing. You understand how the thing works. But if you understand, no, I am continuous. Let me start working. I will get the Benz now or maybe another 50 years. Maybe I have a body or not. That doesn't matter. I am still there. Then you are in a very right track. But if you are thinking, I am end of it, this is what it is, then you may take wrong decisions in life. Actually, this is called soberness. I take things in a mature way, calm way. Yes, I know this happened. Fine, it happened. Anyway, maybe something I did. I'm okay. All of us, right? Why do we people put in prison? Why? Say punishment. But what is the idea? That person reforms, right? And he starts up, when he comes out, most of them become okay. They don't, okay, yeah, I've understood life is like this. I should not repeat this again. So, this entire journey of us in the human form is to go through that transformation, through that reformation, to understand, okay, these kind of things, actions I have done, I have got these results. Now let me reform myself. But for what I did, I am getting it, right? I have to go through it, right? There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. Can I give some under the table? Get it done? Material life, we do that, right? I have to wait for 2 years to get my connection in as per the line. I give under the table and my file comes up ahead. That mentality we are thinking even here we can do. You cannot bribe the gods. You can get mercy of the gods. There I will tell you one thing. We all go to all these so many Navagrahas and all these planetary systems, right? So you should understand, when we go there, and how many of us have gone and always got it right? Always. Whatever problem, I go and did something to some god and it got rectified and I became on top of it. No, huh? No. Okay. Yeah. So there also no guarantee. Okay, you come to Krishna, Krishna doesn't solve. Okay, let me go to that temple, that one particular deity there, that Sanishwara will solve my problem. Go to Sanishwara, maybe sometimes it doesn't happen. Right? They say you do this, 7 days you go around this deity, you do this dana, you do this. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it happens. But one thing I will tell you, Shastra wise, it is not my words or Prabhupada's words. Actually, if I know some officer in government department, maybe I can be little bit more comfortable. But I cannot eternally escape law. Is it not? Like this, if See, my karma is already clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This has to come to me. Nobody has the power to take 2 away and then say, okay, you will get only 5 out of the 7. No. But then how do you get relief then? So what happens is, if I go and please a higher authority, saying, boss, one after the other, all the problems are coming together. I'm having a problem. Okay, hold on. What I will do is, this 4, 5, 6 are all bad. You are only started with the 4th one. 5, 6 also will come after this. You are crying already. Okay, what I will do is, I'll move the 5th to 8th. And in 8 you have some good thing. I will put it there. So what happens is, they little adjust what you are supposed to get later, they give it now. You understand? Little adjustment to make you breathe. But that what was postponed will come after the 7th again. You can't escape that. You understand this? This you get it clearly. What I have to get, I will have to get. But if I am crying so much, and if one of the demigods is pleased, okay, this fellow is in so much trouble, let me help him, he can slightly postpone or prepone some of our things. So you prepone your good things, postpone your bad things, you enjoy for some time, now everything is, then that one also comes, you can't escape. Come. Because, see, they have a limited, everybody has a power within which they can act, right? You cannot do indiscriminate power, like, even the Prime Minister has certain powers, he cannot go beyond that, then President will step in. No, you can't do this. Correct? So you understand that. So when that is the situation, if you understand the signs, you will be DHIRA. Okay, yeah, it's come. I know this is coming. I will take it in the right spirit. And it will also go. Let me not overreact to that. Correct? Sometimes we are forced to accept it. But if you accept it voluntarily, there's a huge difference. You understand? When I voluntarily accept, what happens? In jail, when there is a lot of criminals, some people are actually understand, yes sir, I have committed this mistake, and they start behaving properly. What happens? There is some relief given to them, right? Okay, you have been sentenced for 5 years, you are allowed to go home after 3 years. Or there is time in between, Republic Day, President can sanction some people out and they'll say, I am recommended for that. Because I am transformed. You understand? I am transformed now. Why I should go through that another 5 years? Not necessary. Therefore, if I am coming to this kind of a state of accepting the law of nature, then we have a chance to say, okay, this guy has got it. So let's not. See, the purpose of all this is to make us understand. If I have understood that, give him that relief, no, move him away. That is why when you come to the spiritual platform, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam charanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami masuchaha. That means you are not, get rid of all your karma. You still have it. But Krishna is saying, aham tvam, I, your, sarva papebhyo, all your sins, moksha ishyami, I give you relief from everything. Ma suchaha means what? Don't think, don't worry. He is giving that reassurance. Don't worry, I am there. Who is giving you that assurance? Today a lot of governments are giving, right? Guarantee, guarantee, guarantee. But Krishna's guarantee is pakka guarantee. But we are not ready to accept this guarantee. We are ready to accept every other guarantee. Now, if you understand this philosophy and try to surrender to the Lord with whatever negatives I have, okay, Krishna, I have done so many nonsense, I know. Even now, this life also I have done. But now I am coming to this understanding that there is no point in trying to prolong that. I want to surrender to you. That's all. I take that transformation, Krishna will check whether I am really meaning it or I am just saying to get rid of this one problem alone. He knows no. He is sitting inside our heart as Paramatma. Say, okay, I think this guy is really meaning what he is saying. He will slightly give someone, see whether he will test you, whether you are really saying it or you are for time being saying that. And as you are showing that more and more steadiness, dhira, he will give more, he will give more, he will give more. And at point in time, we are actually completely out of our karma. And your actions will never be attracting karma. Saintly people also act, right? Saintly people act. Are they simply sitting? I know some of them are sitting in Himalayas. But not all saintly people are sitting. They are active 24/7. But their action does not attract karma. But your and my action attract karma. They know the technique of acting without attracting karma. We don't know the technique, that we get caught in this thing. So this Bhagavad Gita teaches us how you can act but not attract karma. And at the end of this body's tenure, I get a permanent body. Okay. Now I'm sure all of you have that understanding that I am soul and I am continuous. My body dies, I don't die. And my experiences continue in the next body based on my current actions, my current desires. I want to become a great actor. I am already 70 maybe. It's okay. But if I have that determination to become that and I start working towards that, in the next body, I will get it. Assuming I live for 150 years, maybe I will get it in my 150th year. But if my body is not there, in the other body I will get it. But I will get it. They say, no, you write in your subconscious brain. They are saying so many, if you see many people, you see YouTube, people give all this kind of, I will teach you how to write in your subconscious brain so that can manifest. Have you all seen something like this? How to rewire your brain. Many people teach you all these techniques. The philosophy is, if you are able to desire for something, that will happen. That is there in Bhagavad Gita. You desire strongly, you will get it. Even in this life, you can do that. You become what you think. But you have to think deeply, not just superficially. One time I think I want to become a crorepati, okay, chalo. But I have to keep focused on thinking. Maybe it may happen, it may not happen in what next 5 years, 10 years, but it will happen. But the more focused I am, that will happen. That is not happening because of your effort. You are only thinking, that's all. Your right is only to think. Desire, not desire. As you desire, Krishna says, oh, this child is desiring so much, I will make it happen. He uses the 3 modes of material nature to make it happen. Correct? But if you don't have a desire, you will not get that. There are a couple of videos, I will just try and show it to you. We will quickly see that. If both of them are deluded, okay, the individual fragmental spirit soul is separate. Okay, sorry. Such change of body accounts for varieties of enjoyment or suffering according to one's work in life. So Bhishma and Drona, being noble souls, were surely going to have spiritual bodies in the next life, or at least life in heavenly bodies for superior enjoyment of material existence. So in either case, there is no cause for lamentation. Next is important. Any man who has perfect knowledge of the constitution of the individual soul, the super soul and nature. Can you repeat? Any man who has knowledge of individual soul, super soul and nature. And nature, both material and spiritual, is called a dhira, or a most sober man. Such a man is never deluded by the change of bodies. So this is theory. If I know soul, if I know super soul, if I know nature, then I become a dhira. I become sober. I am not either too highly elated or I am not too depressed. I am balanced. This is theoretical knowledge. Now, the philosophy is, I am eternal. I don't have to worry about anything that should happen now only. I will take it in the stride. If you start internalizing it in your life, you will slowly come to that point of absolutely calm. Yes, chalo, okay. That happened here. Hey, that factory burnt up. Oh, is it okay? Hey, you won 10 crore. Oh, is it okay? This is not theoretical. Try applying in our day-to-day. Just tell me, how many of us, when our children, suddenly they do something, we get immediately, hey! Right? Why we have to react like that? My wife says something, immediately like, shh! Why? What is the problem? Let her say what she says. Listen calmly. This thing about comes because I think I am defined and I want to do things my way, highway, everything now that way. But if I understand my journey is eternal and everybody's journey is eternal, nobody is bound by the other person. This is a pleasant journey. Why take everybody along? What is the problem? Why should I suffer? Why should I take so much anxiety? But the philosophy is this. If you don't understand the philosophy, you are a loser. See, without understanding the philosophy, if I say it's okay, let him take and go, you'll say you're a loser here. You don't know to fight back, rascal. But if I understand the philosophy, I'll say, he can't run away here. I know he has to give it back to me. Because I know the karma principle. I can cheat local law, but I cannot cheat nature's law. He cannot get away from me. This is truth. You understand? There are so many of these things. I lose my job. Okay. There's some reason why I lost it, but that's okay. I know I will move forward. I will be positive about that. Is there any problem in understanding like that? But it is artificial if I think without understanding this philosophy. If I understand the philosophy, it is natural for me to think like that. It's okay. I know why it happened. Instead of saying it is Hitesh Madhav who is responsible, I will say no, Hitesh Madhav is only an instrument for that problem of mine. My problem is because I created it some time back. Hitesh is just an instrument executing that problem for me. Why I blame him unnecessarily? Hitesh is my good friend, that's all. You understand? It's easy to say. Many a time, just think about your relationship. Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, son and father, daughter and mother. Every day we are seeing these problems in our homes. Why? If I am able to apply these principles, I become a DHIRA, then I can succeed. Does it make sense? But we have to apply it small things. Biggest problem you may not be able to immediately apply. No, I am not such a saint, Prabhu. Try small things. And if you are able to get peace out of that, achieving that small thing and it gave you peace, take the next step, take the next step, take the next step. So that's what it is. Now I will go for that video.
Let's consider the 4 areas of scientific studies which strongly point to reincarnation. 1. Hypnotically induced past life memories. 2. Spontaneous past life memories. 3. Near-death experiences and out-of-body experiences. And 4. The phenomenon of consciousness. Let us consider the first, hypnotically induced past life memories. When trained hypnotists help people to recollect their past going back to their childhood, infancy, and earlier, research has shown that more than 90% of all hypnotizable persons furnish memories that indicate previous lives.
The past life is accessed through accessing the subconscious. And because subconscious has all the memories, perfect memory bank, from the time we started our journey as a human being.
Let's turn to the second, spontaneous past life memories among children.
I worked with several children. They all remembered their last life. It was amazing. And then when they go to school, they sort of get brainwashed and forget it. Only later, 20 or 30 years, should they experience some spontaneous memory or undergo hypnotic experience, do they remember. But my experience with children is up until they go to school, almost all of them had some glimmer and could tell me what they were, who they were, and what they did in their past life.
Let's move on to the third among the scientific evidences for reincarnation: near-death experiences, NDEs, and out-of-body experiences, OBEs. Near-death experiences, or NDEs, are experiences of extraordinary visions and perceptions during periods of unconsciousness among people who are medically dead or nearly dead, due to causes like accidents, diseases, surgeries, or attempted suicides. These people returned from the dead or the near-dead to tell us their amazing experiences. NDEs and OBEs have been investigated by researchers from across the globe.
All of us people investigating near-death experiences see the same pattern of elements. Often one of the first things to happen right after that life-threatening event, often the first element of a near-death experience, is what's called an out-of-body experience. Consciousness separates from the body and goes over the body. From that vantage point, they can see ongoing earthly events, which may include their own frantic resuscitation efforts. After that, they may go into or through a tunnel. Often at the end of the tunnel is a beautiful, mystical, unearthly light. And then once they pass into that area of light, they may be in unearthly landscapes. Often they're described as being beautiful without any comparison on Earth. There may be colors there that are so beautiful that they don't even exist on Earth. They may hear music so lovely that it is beyond anything possible on Earth. In these unearthly realms, they may have what's called a life review, where they see part of their prior life. They may see their deceased loved ones. They may have joyous reunions that people they knew on Earth who died. And then ultimately, at the end of their experience, they often have to make a decision about returning to their earthly life or not.
Could the mind which splits apart from the physical brain be, in essence, the soul, which continues to exist after final bodily death, according to some religious doctrines? Let's now discuss the fourth scientific evidence for reincarnation, the phenomenon of consciousness. Many scientists today assume that consciousness is produced by the brain, but this assumption has neither been demonstrated experimentally nor explained theoretically to any reasonable degree of satisfaction.
But now there's an increasing number of scientists in various fields who dare openly to challenge this old paradigm, and we're moving toward what some have started to call a post-materialist paradigm. And now meetings are being organized and books are being prepared with regard to this post-materialist paradigm. So I can predict that it's only a matter of decades before we have a new scientific revolution, and this time it will be about mind, consciousness, and spirit. And it will be probably the most important conceptual revolution that we've ever had in the history of humankind.
Thus, scientific studies in these four fields offer strong evidence for the existence of a soul different from the body. No wonder that Austrian scientist Rudolf Steiner remarked, "Just as an age was once ready to receive the Copernican theory of the universe, so is our age ready for the idea of reincarnation to be brought into the general consciousness of humanity." For reincarnation to come to the forefront of global human consciousness, humanity needs a systematic understanding of the soul and its reincarnation.
name is Dr. Walter Semke. I'm the president of Reincarnation Research. The pioneer in reincarnation research is Dr. Ian Stevenson at the University of Virginia. For 40 years, he traveled around the world studying young children with spontaneous memories of past lives. From these cases, we can derive principles of reincarnation. One of the patterns is that people have the same personalities and talents and can look exactly like they did in their past incarnations. Barbara was born 9 years after Anne Frank died. When Barbara was a little child and said, "My name is Anna Frank," she had spontaneous memories of her past life as Anne Frank. At the time, her parents didn't even know who Anne Frank was because the diary of Anne Frank was not yet published, and they thought she was making this all up. What makes her case compelling is not that she has the same facial features as Anne Frank, but she had memories from childhood, and by the time she was 10, her parents took her to Amsterdam, and the father wanted to go see the Anne Frank Museum. Barbara said, "We don't need a cab, it's right near here." And they said, "How can you possibly know? You've never been here." Somehow Barbara went straight to the Anne Frank house, looked at a wall and said, "Mommy, look, the pictures of movie stars are still on the wall." And her mother looked at the wall and said, "Barbara, there's nothing there." And the tour guide said, actually, the pictures that Anne Frank had clipped out of magazines of movie stars had been on that wall. That was the first time her parents realized her past life memories were real, or that her reported memories were not fantasies. And Barbara became a childhood writing prodigy, just like Anne Frank had her first book published at age 12.
Now, what do you say about this? And here he talked about some of these things, right? Many people have recalled this. You would have seen, you go and check out any YouTube, they say out of body experiences, right? What happens is, sometimes near death experiences, that fellow suddenly feels a lot of light and he's traveling so fast into that, and suddenly he comes into a different world. And he's seeing so many experiences there, and then he's given a choice, you want to go back or you want to be here. And many people say, just before we die, the entire rewind of my childhood to old age happens. And this was recollected in this example also. You are given a complete view of what all you did in a very fast way. Then you say, my life, I did all these things. And then that is your judgment day. Now all this is your reality. You can't say, no, I didn't do it. It's all there in recorded. Accordingly, your thing. And there are occasions where you have said, like, okay, then, here they say, okay, they were given a choice whether you want to go back to that body or you want to remain here. Some people get that kind of that's when the second life happens for them. Some people may choose not even to come. There was one experience I have seen there where I said, I don't want to go back now. This is so nice. So the person chose to remain there. But there are other occasions, no, I can't leave my parents and this and that and whatever. He came back into this body. But these are all real things. It's not fiction. Now, if that happens to that person, that means that is a soul different from the body, and he had that experience. Maybe my memory is not there. Maybe Krishna has not given me that opportunity to have a near-death experience. Maybe it is good for me. But why don't you take that example to be true? And therefore, if I mold my life so that what if it is true? I don't want to be caught up in that wrong foot. I want to lead a proper life, and I want to see how I can stop this birth, death, old age and disease. And as Krishna is saying, surrender to him. In whatever form and shape, I am starting the journey. Then we will see everything is only positive in our life. And at the end, you come to your original true state of spiritual body. Never to take one more wife or one more husband who will also die one day. My son will not die. Many people have the misfortune of seeing their children die, right? Why? There's a nice in Gita, what is that? In Glories of Gita, it is said, you take Krishna as your son will never die. You take Krishna as your wife, no problem at all. I mean, Krishna as your husband, you will never experience pain. Most wives cannot say that. No bad feeling to any of the husbands, but we are all humans, including my wife. We are all troublemakers. But Krishna is never a troublemaker. If you want a best friend, Krishna is the best friend. My other friends will all, things can change. So, the Gita Mahatmya, it is there. If you want a relationship, that is only relationship is with him, which is actually blissful, which is permanent. I have the best of wife, best of husband, but that will also come to an end one day. But with Krishna, best of husband, but will never come to an end. What do we want? We have to choose. But we need to come to that philosophical understanding. DHIRA. And how I move steadfastly, there may be so many changes happening. They may tempt you, oh, no, this is all nonsense. No, I steadily progress and then I will see the tangible fruit. Hare Krishna, I stop here. I don't know, now Hindi will be starting.
So now will be prasadam.
Okay, now maybe if possible, next time when I do this, I will play that one or two more. Maybe 5 minutes only, nothing big. Maybe we will start 5 minutes earlier. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. I will give you the presentation, you put it up. Okay, so you may, I don't know where, I don't get to see. Okay, you put it in that file, right? Okay, okay, so that will be.
Hare Krishna. So after the